Hey gang, welcome back to another video here at Joe Daddy's Workshop. In the previous video, I showed you the Kobalt air compressor that I bought, and I determined that I needed to get it mounted to the concrete. So in this video, I'm going to go through that process of mounting the compressor to the concrete and also installing some plumbing lines so that I can run the air inside the shop, and then we'll go from there. Now, I think in the next video after that, I will work on building the shed that is going to go around the air compressor, so stay tuned for that as well. I went to Lowe's last night to try to find some rubber pads that I could put underneath the feet of the compressor, and they didn't have anything. However, my neighbor has provided me with some thick rubber pieces that he had, so I'm going to make use of those, but I still need probably at least one more piece because I want to make sure this thing is sitting level, and because my driveway has a taper to it, it wants to lean forward. So what I'm using right now, as you can see, is just a little handheld hacksaw blade and this old Michelin tire that has no use, and it's working pretty well. I can't go very deep because the blade ends up bending, but it's serving its purpose. I just have to make the turn and cut off the rest of this. Pretty exciting, I know. Now, of course, I'm going to have to make some holes so that I can put the bolts through. So I have a piece of wood here. I'm just going to try using the step drill and see if I can't make some holes. Now this piece is going to go in the back, so I'll just have to offset the hole slightly to what I will consider the rear. That should work. Now I'll just do the same thing to all of these pieces for the front two legs. Now I need to drill some holes, and I've used this before. This is a Harbor Freight 1/2-inch hammer drill, item number 94436. I've used this before, had good results with it, so I'm going to use it again to make some holes. Comes with a guide handle that you can slip over the front here and lock on, and of course you can pivot this to whichever side you want to use it on. Since I'm right-handed, I'll make it stick out the left side. Okay, the instructions on the installation manual say to drill a hole 5 inches deep. I don't know exactly how deep my concrete driveway is, so I'm just going to kind of have to guess at it, but 5 inches, now I'm assuming they're saying 5 inches in the concrete itself. I'm going through where the leg is. So this thing is a 3/8 inch concrete bit, and as you can see, it's almost 6 inches up to this point. I'm going to calculate this is about an inch, somewhere around there, so I'll see how deep I can go, but I don't know, again, that I'm going to have 5 inches of concrete to drill through. Let's see if I can adjust that bit, because the bit is designed to go into a specific type of drill, I assume. Maybe I chose the wrong bit. I don't know. Or maybe it's bent. Now let's see what happens. That's maybe as far as I can go. Now, since I don't have any air, I can't blow the hole out. So I just leaned the compressor back and used this 3/8 by 5 bolt to align the rubber bushings. Hopefully, this does what it's supposed to do. Pretty sure the idea is drill the hole down, put the nut on top, and drive it in with a hammer. So let me try that. So put the washer on and the nut, see what happens. Okay, I don't want to go any further than that, and I'm not going to tighten that just yet. I just want to use it as a guide to get the other ones in place. Alright, got this is the third one. I didn't set the camera on the back one. Do a little bit. Obviously, I'm not going to be putting a super ton of torque on these just yet. Back one needs to go in just a little bit further. Okay, I think it's time for a test. Now, I'm not sure if I showed it earlier running, but when I did have it running without any kind of pads, this thing had a lot of shake to it, and that's because of those pistons up in the compressor. So let's see what happens. That's much better. Obviously still has some vibration in the back, but that's much better. Cool. Now I want to get some fittings on the side, so if I do need air, I can actually use it. So I have, this is a 3/4 inch fitting, so I have an adapter that goes 3/4 to 3/8. I want to make that work. And then the idea is to come out of that with a 3/8 to 3/8 nipple. And since I don't have room, once I build a little shed around this, I'm not going to have any room to have a valve out here. I'm going to put in an elbow. and I want to bring this forward. And then I'll attach, hopefully I can make all this work, this fitting, which is from the old compressor. And again, hopefully I can make all this work. I may have to attach this to the elbow first so that I can rotate it, because I'm not going to be able to rotate this obviously. But then that gives me a place for the shutoff and also my connection for my air hose. Now I should probably point out that, you know, this is a conglomeration. You know, I've got steel line here, PVC, brass, and then a steel hose end. It works. My whole shop is plumbed with Schedule 40 PVC. Haven't had any issues with it. I'm hoping that I don't have any issues, but that's what I've been using for years and years and years. So let me get all this put together, and then we can start running this compressor and have air. If you hear some chirping, it's a little cardinal that is visiting me. So I'm going to get this Teflon tape on here. I'll use a pipe wrench to make sure I get that nice and tight. I'm going to put a little extra on this because this feels kind of loose. Well, that's interesting. The big fitting is turning. Didn't expect that. The nipple. I know, pretty exciting, huh? Alright, put this in. And hopefully I've got this lined up the way that I want it. Hopefully. All right. Let's pump it up. Okay, I was reading through the instructions, and it points out that before you do anything, you need to run this for 30 minutes with no pressure to break in the pump, or the pump parts. So that's my plan right now. Looks like everything else is hooked up. I've opened up the drain on the bottom of the tank, and also I have the air line hooked up to the hose on the side so that I have the air vented on the inside as well. So I need to run it for 30 minutes. That should be fun. Okay, so I have the compressor mounted to the concrete. I think I'm going to add some metal plates on top of the rubber feet though, because I was looking at the instructions and it pointed that out. So I have enough space where I can take the pads or the bolts loose and insert a metal plate so that the feet of the compressor don't cut into the pads and destroy those. So just keep that in mind if you ever want to install one of these. At this point, I want to say thank you for watching. If you haven't already, I ask you subscribe, leave a comment what you think about this video, and there's more to come. I need to do a lot more work to get this thing ready to run. Hey Workshop Gang, welcome back to another video here at Joe. No. It's working pretty well. Can't do it very deep because the blade ended up bending. Pretty exciting, I know. Maybe I chose the wrong bit. I don't know. Or maybe it's bent. Well, let's see what happens.